Hey everybody, my name is Nikki Donnelly and I'm an attorney with Rights and Restoration Law Group. And this week is National Expungement Week. So I thought this week I would put up some informational videos about expungement and other criminal records issues, hopefully to help folks out who have some questions about what the laws are in Illinois and what they may be eligible for and what type of relief's out there for them. Just a little warning, this area of law is incredibly complicated, it's incredibly nuanced, so these videos are certainly not meant to explore every caveat and every nuance and every aspect of the law. They're really just to let people know a little information about some of the options that are out there, and of course I always encourage people, if they think they might be eligible for something, to seek out relief with an attorney and advice from an attorney. About their own individual circumstances, because it really varies depending on what's on your background and when your background's from, and there's a lot of factors that come into play. Me and my partners have been doing criminal records work our entire career, and we still stumble across crazy issues or complications in people's backgrounds, so it's definitely important to have your own personal record analyzed, but hopefully this information at least will let folks know what they may be eligible for and get you thinking about what's out there and what help you can get with overcoming some of the obstacles posed by criminal records. So I thought I would start today by talking about just what is expungement in Illinois, because there's a lot of misinformation about that, and expungement, the definition of what is expungement is different in every state. So in Illinois, expungement actually only applies to non-convictions. So non-convictions could be cases that have been dismissed. They could also be cases that got a special sentence that resulted in a non-conviction. So an example of that would be like a special first-time offender probation or court supervision or 710, 1410 probation. Things like that. Things that are meant to, if you complete them satisfactorily, result in a non-conviction or result in the case sometimes even being vacated, which is the case with task probation. Oftentimes those can be expunged too. There are a couple exceptions to that, and there are some waiting periods associated with expunging cases that have special sentences. And cases that are dismissed typically can be expunged almost always right away. Sometimes there's a very short waiting period depending on the way that the state dismissed it, but typically that can be done right away. One important thing that I think people don't know is that people believe that when their cases are dismissed or if they're arrested and released without actually ever having been charged, that case is not on their background, but that's actually not true. Those arrests remain on your background unless you proactively go file a petition and go to court and get it expunged. That is not something that automatically drops off. There are limitations on what can be considered on your criminal background by potential employers in terms of things that didn't result in convictions, and there is a limitation of how long commercial background check companies have to release that information to potential employers. But the police always have access to them unless you go and get them expunged, and potential employers can see them for the first 7 years. So it's important to, if you have that situation where you've been arrested for things and the cases have been dismissed, even you would benefit from an expungement. And then what does expungement actually mean? If you're granted expungement, what does that actually mean? It actually means that your records are destroyed and no one can see them, not even law enforcement agencies. So that means that the police can't see them, and when I say the police, I mean local police like Chicago Police Department, Illinois State Police, but also the FBI. They cannot see those expunged records. It also means that the clerk of the circuit court can't see those records anymore. So that can be really helpful and life-changing for people. Now, I know some of you are sitting there like, well, I have regular convictions. I got regular probation, or I went to prison, or I got jail time, or, I got conditional discharge. Those cases cannot be expunged, but they potentially could be sealed. So that'll be the topic of my next video, to talk a little bit about sealing eligibility and what can be sealed and when. So I hope this information was helpful. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg of criminal records relief, but hopefully it'll get your mind working on how it applies to you, and maybe it'd be a good time to start looking into these issues if you haven't in the past. All right, thank you.